this big empty room is NBC Stage 2 in Burbank, California. And it's a magnificent playground for your imagination. Nothing but bare boards and a vast emptiness. In a moment, it will be transformed into the setting for Ludwig Bemelman's classic stories of Madeline. Remember, in an old house in Paris that was covered with vines, lived 12 little girls in 2 straight lines. They left the house at 9:30 in 2 straight lines, in rain or shine. The smallest one was Madeline, played for you tonight by a wonderfully talented youngster, Gina Gillespie. And as a special treat, we have everybody's favorite, Imogen Coca, who will play Miss Clavel. It is the story of a fearless, uninhibited, adventurous 9-year-old little girl. Most of you have read it, or had it read to you, as I have read it to my children. And I'm just as sure that in some of the homes of the future, with controlled climate and commuting services to the nearest planets, our children will be reading to their children the lines, "In an old house in Paris that was covered with vines, lived 12 little girls in 2 straight lines. They broke their bread and brushed their teeth and went to bed. They left the house at 9:30 in 2 straight lines. And the smallest one was Madeline."
Will you please stop making a fuss? I'm not going to slip. And if I did slip, I can always fly.
You can fly.
She can fly? Of course.
I've never seen you fly.
Have you ever flown, Madeline? No.
Well, if you can fly, how come you've never flown before?
Well, the occasion never arose. Whenever we want to go someplace, there's always a bus or taxi cab to take us there. Besides, I give Miss Clavel enough trouble already. You know how nervous she is. She gets frightened if I just walk on the handrail of the bridge. If I go flying around here, I'll scare her half to death.
Can anybody fly?
Yes.
Can anybody fly?
No grown-ups can fly, except, of course, in an airplane or things like that. And even a lot of children can't fly. I don't think you can fly, but maybe you could. But definitely not you.
No, you couldn't fly. Nobody can fly except birds.
How about those flying squirrels Miss Clavel was telling us about?
That's different.
There's no difference. None of these squirrels around here fly. They won't even think of trying to fly. But every once in a while, somewhere there's a squirrel who thinks he can fly. So he flies.
You never believe anything.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe that Madeline would stick her tongue out that lion, and she did. That's right. I saw her do it.
I'd like to see her fly.
Why do you always have to be like that?
Yeah,
why do you always have to be like that?
Well, I'd still like to see her fly.
Okay. I'll take a short flight. I'll go around the tree and land right over there, next to the bird bath.
Madeline! Don't move! Stay right where you are! I'll save you. Now, don't be frightened, darling. Just don't move. I'm coming to save you. Don't worry.
Not one bit.
Everything is perfectly all right.
Frightened.
What on earth were you doing up there?
She was going to fly.
She was going to fly.
You will never try to do that again, will you?
No, Miss Clavel.
Now, just take it easy, girls. Relax. Just forget it. Put it right out of your minds. There is absolutely nothing to be frightened about. I'll have a cup of tea and I'll be perfectly all right. You promise me that you will never try to do that again.
I promise.
Are you going to try it again, Madeline?
I can't. I promised.
No.
It's a
belong to the Spanish ambassador who just moved next door.
Miss Clavel said they had a child.
But she didn't know it was a boy.
Isn't he beautiful?
I wonder what Miss Clavel will say. We never had a boy living next door. Madeline, Where's Madeline?
Madeline, don't you want to come and look at the Spanish ambassador's boy who just moved next door? He's beautiful. I hate boys. I don't. I like boys, especially this one. Madeline, this one looks like he could fly too.
He might be able to fly, but I still hate him.
You mean you hate all boys? Uh-huh. Every single one of them?
All boys? What's the difference? They're all the same. They're always yelling and running and teasing, and they tie firecrackers to the tails of dogs, and they get you into trouble.
Grown-ups get you into trouble too.
That's right. That's different. They're grown-ups. That's their job. But a boy gets you into trouble just because he's a boy. That's why I hate boys.
I love boys. I don't care. I just love boys.
How old are you, Teresa?
10.
You just wait. Let's take another look.
He's gone.
He's
gone.
He's gone.
Look.
One day we'll have to saw that branch right off.
Pleasant dreams and good night, my angels.
Good
night, Miss Clavel. Isn't he wonderful? He's marvelous.
Did you see the way he bowed to us when he was introduced?
And even kissed Miss Clavel's hand. I think he's just as cute as Frankie Avalon. I love him.
Don't wake up Madeline. She's too young to hear things like that.
Stop shushing. I hear every word.
Would you marry him? I mean, when you grow up, if he asked you?
Oh.
Even if you had to go back to Spain with him?
I don't care.
Suppose they don't have television in Spain.
I'd get him to move.
Well, don't ask me to be a bridesmaid at the wedding, because I hate him.
How can you hate anybody who's so handsome?
I had nothing against him personally. I just hate all boys.
Well, you always say that when you grow up, you want to have a large family.
6 children, all girls.
Well, how can you get married and have a large family if you hate boys?
When the time comes, I'll think of something.
Up and down and up and down and up and cease. At ease. Now let's take in those deep lungfuls of that beautiful fresh air. Now we'll all bend over and touch our tippy toes. I want you all to feel the blood rippling through your veins and all the muscles tingling. Upright position, feel the muscles tingle, tingle, tingle. Ready? 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and... At ease. Now we're all going to be little elephants. Let's dangle. Dangle our arms. Just like little elephants. But instead of having one trunk, we have 2 trunks. And we dangle our trunks as we walk around seeking our food. Feel the blood rushing down into your fingertips and surging back into your brain and saying, "Oh, what a glorious day this is." Just like elephants.
Are you still in love with Pepito? Uh-huh. Then change places with me, okay?
All happy elephants together. Ouch!
He's trying to attract my attention.
Come on, girls. Pick up the feet. always must remember that there's a little bit of good in the worst of us and a little bit of bad in the best of us. And it's up to young ladies of good breeding to keep down the good in the best of us and to bring out the bad in the worst of us. That's why we gave Pepito the tool chest, to give him an outlet for his normal, exuberant spirits. You see, the tool chest is a success. It just goes to show you, if you give him an outlet for his normal, exuberant spirits, he will find a normal, healthy, constructive way to express himself.
It's not that boys are so bad. Everyone sometimes does things he shouldn't do. There's so many things that are hard to understand. What makes the stars stay up in the sky without falling? And why does the sun shine during the day when we don't need it? And electricity. And how to eat a double-decker ice cream cone without dripping on your dress. And why would anybody want to be a truant officer? And boys. The things boys do that they shouldn't do are things that nobody else would think of. Do you know what I mean? Take, for example, an ordinary little dog. If you saw one, you'd look at it, or maybe pet it, and if it growled, you'd make a wide circle. But a boy...
491, 492. Madeline, come quick! Don't bother me. I've got 192 and I'm going for the world's record. Madeline, come quick! Yes, round the world's record! Come on, there's no time.
Guess I'll have to let the world's record go till later on.
Madeline, he's doing it! He's just like all the other boys! But Peter, you stop that! Keep out of the way.
Is this supposed to be a healthy outlet for your normal, average, whatchamacallit spirits? Tying a firecracker to a dog's tail?
Keep out of my way. Nobody's gonna stop me from doing whatever I want to with my very own dog that I found myself. I'll take the dog somewhere else. You can never have fun around girls.
You're not going to touch this poor defenseless dog ever again.
Hey, you! He's gonna hit her! Boys don't hit girls. That's just something that grown-ups made up. If you don't hit a girl once in a while, your life can be miserable. Now give me that dog.
You're horrid. And I thought you were so wonderful. And such a gentleman when you kissed Miss Clavel's hand.
Sometimes you gotta kiss a girl. And sometimes you gotta hit him. It's the only way you get along in this world. I'm giving you your last chance.
Okay, come on.
Girls don't fight.
That's another thing grown-ups made up.
And give you your last chance.
Somebody ought to call Miss Clavel.
Somebody ought to call Miss Clavel. Somebody ought to call Miss Clavel.
Here I come. Who was that silly old mongrel anyhow? What kind of a girl are you?
She's not afraid of spiders or mice or anything. And she comes from America, where they got Indians.
Oh?
Do you think anybody who fought Indians would be afraid of a little old boy like you?
You fought Indians?
Sure, don't you believe her?
I believe her.
Let's call the dog Genevieve.
Madeline.
Madeline. Will you marry me?
You mean
Now?
well? Not right this minute.
Well, you need a lot of work. And I'm not sure you'd be worth the fuss. I'll have to think it over. Genevieve, it's good for you. Did you hear me? I said eat every last drop.
Dogs don't like spinach.
Neither do we, but we have to eat it, don't we?
Right.
Come on, Genevieve. It's good for you. Look!
The director of the school.
We forgot he was coming.
Oh, what are we going to do with Genevieve?
Genevieve, darling.
The girls are working very hard on a little presentation for you that I hope you will enjoy.
Well, I hope so. I hope so.
Look out, here they come. Where can we hide
Good afternoon, girls.
Good afternoon, Mr. Director.
Won't you sit down?
Oh, after you, please.
Please sit down. No, I insist.
Well, if you insist, thank you.
And now, girls, shall we do our play for our honored guest? I am most anxious that we make a very good impression on our dear director. Hildegard?
I am lovely springtime. The blanket of snow has melted away, and the rich brown earth is ready to take the seed to its bosom.
I am the seed lying in my nice warm bed in the rich brown earth.
I am the rain, giving life and giving moisture to the seed in the rich brown earth.
I am the sun, which brings the energy-giving little sun rays to the rich brown earth.
Charming, charming.
Educational, too.
Oh, yes, of course.
There's more, there's more.
Who is there? Who is there? Marvelous.
I am the industrial farmer who gathers the grains of wheat.
I am the jolly old miller who grinds the wheat into grain. Grind, grind, grind.
And I'm the kindly old baker who kneads the dough and bakes the bread. And I am the little girl who eats the bread so that I may grow up to be healthy and strong. Yum, yum, yum.
Extraordinary.
And now I would like to show you the little projects the girls are working on.
Projects,
Won't
yes.
you come along?
What was that?
What was what?
Those sounds.
What sounds?
Those two sounds I just heard.
Did you hear any sounds?
I didn't hear a single sound. I didn't hear that one either.
It's coming from that closet.
Excuse me, sir, but you can't.
I think there's somebody in there.
Yes, it's Genevieve.
Genevieve, what's she doing in the closet?
I think she's resting.
Resting? In a closet? Well, she sounds like a very unusual girl.
Yes, she is. Very unusual.
I think we'd better have a look.
But would you like to hear her play again?
Well,
Hildegard!
It's perfectly all right, girls.
Springtime, and the blanket of snow has melted away, revealing the rich
Thank you very much, girls, but
I'm the seed lying in my nice warm bed in the rich brown
Yes,
earth.
but
I am the rain
girls, if
bringing
you
life-giving
don't
moisture.
mind, I have already
in the
seen
rich
your
brown
play.
earth. I am
Oh,
the sun,
coming.
the energy-giving little sunrise to the rich brown earth. I am the industrial farmer who gathers the grains of wheat.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry, darling, but we had to do it. We've got to hide her.
Let's tie her under the bed.
No, directors of the schools always look under the bed for dust.
Quick, they're coming back.
Girls, we're all going to have tea with our honored guest. As a reward for your beautiful performance, Hildegard will pour, Lotus will pass the cups, Tanya will pass the cream, Sybil will pass the sugar, and Madeline will pass the lemon. Isn't that fun? And now, if you'll all freshen up and wash your hands like the nice young ladies you are, we'll all have tea downstairs in just 5 minutes. Mr. Murgatroyd.
Oh, yes, of course.
It's Genevieve. She's resting again.
Isn't that your bed?
Is it? But would you like to hear our play again? Hildegard!
It is springtime, and the blanket of snow has melted away, revealing the rich brown earth.
I am the seed lying in my nice warm bed in the rich brown.
I told you she was very unusual.
Mr. Murgatroyd, I'm terribly sorry. I had absolutely no idea there was a dog in the school. Please forgive me.
Shush. A mongrel of uncertain breeding and environment in a high-class girls' school? Well, it's impossible.
Good night, angels.
Good night, Miss Cobell. It's going to be all right.
Poor Genevieve. Out all alone in the cold and dark. Yes, in the cold.
Lotus, it's going to be all right. There's nothing to worry about. I'm going out to find Genevieve.
What will Miss Clavel say?
She won't know I'm gone until it's too late.
Madeline, you're not afraid? To go out there all alone?
I'm not afraid of anything. But I'll leave first thing in the morning, after breakfast.
But you haven't had breakfast yet. It's all right. Take good care of my scarf. Have you got everything?
Yes, I've got the extra handkerchief in here, and the good luck charm, and 100 francs in gold, in case of expenses.
Be careful, Madeline.
When Miss Clavel finds out I'm gone, tell her I'll be careful crossing streets, and I'll eat plenty of fresh vegetables. You know how nervous and upset she gets.
I hope you find Genevieve. I'm not coming back until I find Genevieve. Madeline! I want to come along. I took all my savings, 420 francs. I also bought the knife I got for my birthday, in case we need to defend ourselves.
Well, how do I know you won't be making trouble and tie firecrackers to dogs' tails or things like that?
I promise.
Well, okay. This may be a big mistake, but Miss Clavell says a lady should always have an escort.
Do you think it's easy to be a little girl? Even a cute little girl who isn't afraid of mice or spiders? It's difficult being a little girl. Ask anybody. Ask Madeline. She's living in a world she never made. She's living under rules made by people who have difficulty remembering they ever were children. People who have such a strange set of values, where a scratch on a living room table is very important. And a poor, hungry, homeless little dog is of no consequence. Well, what do? You have to go out and find the dog. Of course, you might be sidetracked by a gypsy circus.
This time I'm going to ride the swan. And then I'm going to ride the elephant again after that. I only rode the swan and elephant twice. And I rode all the others 3 times. Madeline. Which one are you going to ride this time, Pepito? Madeline, I have no more money. We have no more money.
Then you'll have to get off.
How much have they charged you to let you do that?
Nothing.
You mean they let you do that as long as you want to? Free?
Yeah, free.
How did you ever get a job like that?
Oh, my mother and father own this circus.
Gosh!
Hey, how would you like to turn this for a while?
I have no more money.
Oh, I won't charge you.
No, that's too fast.
No, that's too slow. Yeah, that's just about right. You don't do it as good as I do. You'll get experienced in time. Ma! He's doing it for nothing.
Then you'd better go and clean out the cages as you should have done this morning. He's a good boy, but he can never remember to do a thing unless you remind him 100 times.
I know. You don't happen to have another of these around, do you?
Isn't one enough? The noise drives me crazy.
Hello. I'm Madeline. I'm not afraid of you. A lot of children might be scared stiff, but I'm not. They just ought to put a notice outside. So people wouldn't be surprised.
Put that down. You're scaring him.
I'm scaring him.
Yes, this is Maurice. He's like one of the family. Why, he's been with us 10 years. On cold nights, he sleeps with us.
Oh, he's getting old and he has stomach trouble. He gets frightened, you see, at the least little thing.
Miss Clavella's like that.
You know, some of those boys come around here and they make loud noises and faces at him, and they frighten poor Maurice half to death. I don't know why they do it. Poor Maurice.
That's the way boys are.
Say, would you like to help out with the circus?
Yes, please.
Well, then come with me. Now, come on, Maurice. Don't be afraid. It's just a little girl. Don't be silly. It's just a nice little girl. That's a good... Come on, Maurice. That's a good boy. There you are. Oh, now, don't be silly. It's just a nice little girl. That's a good fellow. Oh, the poor old thing. Now, there you are. All right. Now, if you'll stand there and keep the children from scaring Maurice, I'll let you ride on the carousel freeze.
Gosh.
Now, you take some peanuts, and every once in a while, you throw one to Napoleon. The children see you do it, and then they do it. That way, we sell a lot of peanuts, and we save on Napoleon's food bill.
Isn't the circus wonderful?
Do you think you can do that while you're protecting Maurice?
Sure.
Now, put this on, and then the children will mind you.
Oh, Madame.
Uh-huh.
How many free rides on the carousel will I get?
Oh, 100.
100? Stand back from the dangerous wild animal. Stand back. The untamed animal is liable to get angry any minute and tear the cage apart and run wild through the streets, eating up people. Stand back.
Violins, soft guitars, singing to a million stars. I am free, always be. It's the gypsy life for me. Violins, soft guitar, singing to
You had enough.
a million
Yes, thank you.
You like it?
I am
Yes, thank you.
home.
I never had food like this, where you cook the vegetables right in with everything else, so you won't even taste them.
Gypsy life.
You'd better hurry home now. Your father and mother will be worrying about you.
My father and mother don't even know I'm gone.
What?
My mother and father travel around. It's my father's job. My father travels too.
Well, who takes care of you?
Miss Clavell, she runs a place with a lot of other girls she takes care of.
You mean an institution?
Yes, I guess you would call an institution.
Now, we better start packing because the first thing tomorrow morning we are leaving to go, going to leave.
Good night, children.
Good night.
Better quick it make make it quick because the rain is waiting to come down.
Good night, darlings.
Yeah, good night. What's the matter? It's getting dark. It gets dark every night. Yes, but it gets dark outside, and then I don't mind the dark. But when I am where it gets dark, when it gets dark, I don't like it. I thought you were the one who fought Indians. Only during the daytime.
Children, you'd better hurry back to your institution. At least you got a nice warm bed there.
It isn't so warm.
It isn't so warm.
Do you think it's so warm if you sleep with only one blanket? On the floor? In the cellar?
What does she feed you, this woman in the institution?
Nothing like what we ate here. No, nothing like what we ate here.
Well, why don't you write and tell your father about it?
What if Miss Clavell should find out?
What would she do?
I'd rather not tell you.
You mean that she...
Is that mark still there? What mark? The mark on my shoulder. Yeah, I think I see a little mark.
Oh, my poor darling.
Hurry, hurry. I just felt a drop of rain.
I want to talk to you. Wait.
I don't know what you're doing, Madeline, but we've got to find Genevieve. Well, we're looking, aren't we? I don't think I was looking so very hard this afternoon. Look, a circus is the best place to look for a dog from. Genevieve is a very smart dog. She sees a circus. She's going to go over to it. And here we are. Yeah, here we are.
You are both going to stay with us for a while. We can't let you go back to that institution.
But only temporarily, until we can locate your papa and mama.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
There's nothing to thank me for. Everybody thinks gypsies love children. What's so great about children? You have to eat them. You have to give them to eat. They make a lot of noise, so I can't take my nap in the afternoon. And I had 8 of them. 8. 7 of them are married. Now, the youngest one is getting big enough to do a little bit of help, so I can take my afternoon nap. And now, we're starting all over again.
Pay no attention to him. He loves children.
All right. You can go in and sleep in my bed. I will sleep in the lion's cage with Maurice. He gets very cold at night, and he loves to snuggle up to me.
Children, come and I'll show you where you're going to sleep. Good morning, children.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Look! Is he having his breakfast? I think so.
Good morning, Madeline.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Fine. Thank
Pepito?
you.
Aha, it's magic, Pepito.
Do some more magic.
Come on.
Do some more. Are you a gypsy? Just partly. I'll bet you don't have to go to school or take piano lessons or brush your teeth or things like that. I don't even have a toothbrush. If you're not a real gypsy, how did you get a job in the circus? I was kidnapped. How does someone happen to get kidnapped by gypsies? Look.
Here.
I have no more money.
You don't have to pay. You work here.
Thank you. But I want to pay. So if I hit the balloon, you'll have to give me a prize.
What prize did you want?
That beautiful ring.
You mean this one here? What for?
I'm thinking about getting engaged.
Stand there, my little helpers. I'll need you in a minute.
Oh, those poor kids in school. I wonder why parents do that. That's the way grown-ups are. When I'm a grown-up, I won't be that way. By the time you're a grown-up, you'll forget. That's the trouble with grown-ups. They forget. Are you going to forget? I won't forget. I'm not going to forget either.
And now we're going to make a little magical pudding. A delicious, pernicious pickapoo pudding. First of all, we'll need a little bit of flour. A little bit of flour. And then we'll need an egg. A whole egg. And next we'll need a little bit of vinegar. A little bit of vinegar goes right in here. Something to sweeten it just a bit. And then to heat it, a little bit of candle. Ooh. And we have a nice fire. And now, let's see what we have inside. Come Come on out. What happened?
Hello. Oh, hello. I wonder what Miss Clavel and your friends are doing right now.
I wonder, too. I wrote her a postcard.
You shouldn't have done that. Now she'll come and get us.
I didn't tell her where we were. I just didn't want her to worry. You know how nervous and upset she gets.
Why should she be nervous and upset just because we're lucky enough to be in a circus?
That's the way grown-ups are.
Look! Now you've done it.
Wait until I pay the driver. Girls, you just stay there. Come back here. Here you are, sir. Girls, will you come back?
That's her. That's Miss Clavel.
Oh, you mean the awful lady for the institution?
How did she find us?
Don't be frightened, darlings. I won't let her take you back to that terrible place. I will hide you.
Where can we hide? Miss Clavel can find anything.
I'll find some way to hide you.
Get off immediately. That is not why we came here. Come on now, get into 2 straight lines behind me. We have a job to do. Really?
May I help you, madam?
Oh, thank you very much. I'm looking for 2 children.
Lots of children come here. Why don't you try another circus?
Well, this is the only circus in the
Have
neighborhood.
you gone to the police?
We were
Perhaps
going to the
you're
police, but
afraid to go to the police. Perhaps you're afraid they'll find out about the hard bed on the floor in the cellar.
In the cellar?
How could anybody beat a girl so small?
Who's beating her?
Who's beating who?
The little girl.
What little girl?
Oh, really? We have a job to do. Come on, baby.
Why don't you try some other circus? Oh, you poor little darling. Oh.
Hurry! The terrible lady's coming over this way.
I'm hurrying.
If we get out of this alive, will you marry me?
You're too young to get married.
Please, dear, you have to sit still so I can make this put this makeup on. I'm finished. Even your own mothers wouldn't know who I am, who you am.
Oh, pardon me. Have you seen 2 small children? Will I ever find you, Madeline? Oh, please. Looking for 2 little children, and I went in that tent, and I turned around, and I came face to face with the biggest lion I've ever seen in my entire life.
There's nothing to be afraid of. He's a very nice lion.
That's right. He won't hurt a fly.
Wait just a minute. know you two, don't I?
I'm afraid you do.
Madeline. Oh, you're all right. I found you.
Oh, I'm truly glad you found me, Miss Clavell. I'm truly glad. Oh, but Aunt Mama, I hate to leave you in the circus.
Don't worry, darling. She promised to treat you real good.
I promised to never make you sleep in the basement, to give you 3 meals a day, and I gave my word of honor to never beat you again.
We sure fooled her, didn't we?
We sure did.
Goodbye, my darling. If all children were like you, I'd change my mind about them.
Goodbye. Thank you. Oh, where's Pepito?
I've done it! I'll take the ring.
Hurry up. Follow into 2 straight lines and back of me. Hurry up. Pick up your feet. Come on. Hurry up, girls. Come on.
Oh, hello, Pepito. Madeline, there's something I should have told you, but I didn't. But now I just got to tell you. What? There's a girl in Madrid, my 4th cousin on my mother's side.
What about her?
I think my parents expect me to marry her.
Well, which one are you going to marry? Her or me?
I want to marry you, Madeline. But I don't want to make my parents unhappy. What'll I do, Madeline?
Well, we've got to wait a few years until we get married anyhow. And in a few years, your parents will be older, and they'll probably get over it.
Will you wait for me, Madeline?
Forever.
Then you must wear this. Forever?
Red stones for eyes.
I hid the balloon. You're not mad at me, Miss Clavell?
Of course not. I'll tell you a secret. When I was your age, I was going to run away and join a circus.
You, Miss Clavell? You? What were you going to do in the circus?
Fly. What else?
Oh, but I feel so bad about not finding Genevieve.
Don't you worry. She was never gone. And look, something happened while you were away. Look at this.
Well, that was the story of the unpredictable Madeline and how she got safely back to school. The last page of Ludwig Bemelman's book shows Miss Clavell standing at the door of the girls' bedroom. Good night, little girls. Thank the Lord you are well. And now please go to sleep, said Miss Clavell. And she turned out the light and closed the door. And then she came back just to count them once more. Our thanks to Imogene Coca, little Gina Gillespie, and all the other members of the cast for their fine performances. I'm sure you enjoyed this visit to Miss Clavell's School for Little Girls as much as I did. Now, we're back on our empty stage again. But next week, we'll be taking another trip, this time to an equally famous school for boys. We're going to visit the Plumfield School in turn-of-the-century New England, created by Louisa May Alcott in her beloved children's classic, Little Men. Remember Jo March, the heroine of Miss Alcott's Little Women? Well, in Little Men, Jo has grown up and married Professor Fritz Baer. I'll be playing the role of Jo, and Fernando Lamas will play the professor. And we'll be joined by a house full of irrepressible boys. And I hope you'll be with us, too. Until then, this is Shirley Temple, wishing each of you a fond good night.